Why Canada's life is getting harder and harder. Significant numbers of people around the street are gradually increasing more and more. And yet there are still many people all around the world are dreaming and aspiring to come here. Obviously, we can't blame them. Canada is one of the most promising countries in the whole world. Immigrants are welcome here. Aside from the beauties you can enjoy, their government have so many good policies, if not better, for their people. And before we got deeper into this video, I will give more hints first on those reasons why people around the world keep eyeing to come here. Canada has one of the best medical systems. Imagine the up-to-date medical technologies that you can find. Canada has all of that. And yet, people are enjoying a free-of-charge policy. Though most of the times you find yourself waiting on the line, in the long run, you will end up hassle-free and less stressed from the burdens of hospital bills, as it is already being taken care of. Second reason, immigrants are welcome here. Unlike other countries, even though you have spent your entire life working, you will not get citizenship. Here, you will enjoy same benefits their citizens are enjoying while working. Aside from the beauty of nature you will enjoy, life here is not so stressful in the perspective of those who have already settled. Of course, it is not easy to settle and start from the scratch, but once you have surpassed that, life becomes more normal. Third reason, if you are blessed with kids, you won't worry that much on how to raise them because the government supports every child you have. The mother and your child will get allowances and will enjoy the high standard of education for free until high school. Though during college studies are not free, you won't still worry that much because the government's still there to help finance the education of your children with a minimal interest. Aside from that, there are many organizations providing scholarships. Also, the allowances and pensions are also being taken care of by the government while you are still working. That doesn't mean, though, that you will have to rely on them for the support. You will have to work your ass out here until you are much more settled. I remember I have worked 3 jobs during that time we arrived, just because of being afraid to spend all the money we've brought. As the future's still unclear, I have to work harder to put foods on the table. Nevertheless, Canada is one of the most peaceful countries you could ever live in. The safety here is still utmost and still one of the best places to raise a family. But before I have to loose my words here, I would say these are the most reasons I could ever think of why Canada is still attracting so many immigrants.
On the contrary, however, not all who dreamt easy and prosperous life actually end up the same as what they are expecting. And this is the true dark side that is happening now.
Good.
If you are one dreaming to come here, please be honest with yourself to answer these. Are you ready? Are you equipped with money and talents? Life hardships adds up when you are already here. The level of stress, anxiety, and depression significantly increases, especially if you landed into something you aren't ready for it. These are the reasons why there are many people ended up on the street. In other words, homeless.
But why there are many homeless? These are the reasons. They ended up jobless, ran out of money, indulge in addiction, and of course mental health deteriorates. Some people were not ready to accept the fact that they are not what they were after arriving here in Canada. If you are a doctor somewhere else, you will not be a doctor here until you finish something. Some people easily gives up. It means to say, they aren't ready to face the life in Canada. If you are new here, don't ever choose job while gradually building up into your dream job. If you gave up, you lose. One day you will find yourself on the street. Nowadays, a lot of immigrants came from different nations. Students, visitors, and immigrants flooded Canada. And what does that mean? It means competition, demand of commodities, and shelter increases. On this reason, it bumps up the requirement of houses to accommodate these immigrants. This had a bad impact into the housing requirements all over Canada, which have raised the rentals and house costs.
And what you are seeing in this video are those homeless people that ended up building their tents, or sometimes there is no tent at all. They are by the river, under the bridges, and of course by the streets. How would these people will get by during the harsh winter?
They are everywhere. And believe me, most of them are from other nations who once dreamt of a better life, but who knows what future brings here in Canada. My only 2 cents here is don't give up. But sometimes not giving up still expect a lot from yourself, which then cause stress until your mental health deteriorates. And if this happens, they fell into depression, which then even get worse, they turn into addiction. As you can see, they are scattered everywhere. But what is the government doing to help them? During winter, most of the homeless people have to go to the shelter. A shelter is what the government have been providing them so that they will have a decent and warm place to stay and rest during the winter's harsh temperature. Not only that, people with lesser income can go to food banks to help them with their expenses. They don't need to buy anything because they are being provided with foods and other items to support themselves and their family members. But the point here is, you came here to at least uplift your way of living and attain the goal of your dream, not to end up being homeless. So, in that case, you shouldn't give up no matter what. As I've talked to many people before who almost end up being on the streets, they have told me that difference between having a good life and a homeless is just a matter of choice.
Well, what's your story, man? Why you end up roaming around
on the streets?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first career, I was in the military.
You were a military before? Okay.
I was Army 15 years.
In Canada, right?
Yeah. That's all I could serve in that unit. That particular unit is the only one that could serve 15 and get to full
Okay.
pension, right?
Okay. So are you getting pension right now?
Oh, I fucking outlived it. 25 years it paid me off.
Okay.
I had a whole other career, steel stud after that.
All right.
In drywall.
So why did you end up on the street?
Well, I camped out with my twin daughters 3 seasons of the year anyway.
Oh, so you have daughters.
Yeah, they're 30.
Where are they now?
They're up in Edmonton.
And they're living good? Like,
I got finance graduates, $97 jobs.
so why you're not going there?
They come see me every weekend.
Oh, really? They're giving you support though?
My mom's a drug addict. I left 3 years ago.
Their moms. Okay. So you were doing drugs before? No? So how does it feel though? Being on the street?
I love it on the street.
You love it?
Either way, huh?
But I mean, right now, I mean,
I paid a lot of taxes, 40 years of work all my life. I want to sleep where I want to sleep.
all right.
And I'm an outdoorsman, man. I was in a special forces unit in the military. It's all about survival inside.
All right, but you can do it now. But during winter, I bet probably you will go to you will end up going to that shelter.
You know, for the last 2 winters, I love it.
Oh,
Outside.
really? What? That's so harsh, man. Then how do you cover yourself? Like you build a tent?
Well, Hanson,
TP, probably.
some floor in, some floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at least you're.
Big prepare. You don't get frostbite.
But at least you're still getting pension from the government.
No, I'm not. 25 years. Paid out.
I bet that man had his mental illness. Who is anyone on his right mind would stay on the street rather than at home? There you go. Mental incapacity contributes a huge factor why many people ending up on the streets.